Sounded the battle cry! Sorry, that sounded like puppy power, and everyone hates him, so I'm not gonna summon that energy into my life. Hello everybody! Hello! All my witches and wizards, as you wander in, come in to my lobby, said the spider to the fly. And we shall be playing, a lot of Wizards Unite while we still can. Ooh, I like the title of this track, Hit the Ground Running. Yeah, I figured it was probably just you because you are totally on top of the ball, Cindy. You are always on top of the ball, by the way. So much love to you for that. But, I figure it's just you and me, girl. What do you want to chat about? I'm game. You try? Well, you succeed. Congratulations. Do or do not. There is no try for you. You succeed. Sorry. My cat's being cat-like in his catness. No, you were begging to come in here this whole time. I let you in. You can stay in here. Don't look at me like that. I am not going to give him. I am the human. He is not the human. Hello! Welcome, greetings. I went to PetSmart because you guys told me I was going to the wrong store. Thank you so much. And I found this! Technically it's for the cat. But it's most likely for me. I'm thinking about tearing open one of the stitches on the side, putting some catnip in it. Because his favorite thing is the kick toys, right? So this is about shaped like a kick toy. It just doesn't have enough fluff in it. So if I can put some catnip and some fluff in this, oh yeah, yeah, it's gonna be all over the house, making its crinkly noises. It'll be great. Lot of night bus trouble this past week, huh? You've been having to place dedicated beacon. Oh. All the time? Like 24/7? You never get a break? It is a good place to get sensory toys. I had a student who needed weight and pressure to calm him down. So I actually had he's in the other room, a giant lizard that's full of sand. He's very heavy. He's like a 6-pound lizard. And when this kid was having a bad day, I just put the lizard on his head or across his shoulders and things like that. The kids would wait in line to get a chance to have the lizard on them. It was great. Okay, 2 hours at a time is a little better than having to be beacon 24/7 because you need to take a nap at that point. Just saying. You crossed level 60 this morning! Oh, congratulations! Little party for you! Yeah, I love the crinkle. I'm sure you can hear that. It's probably very, very loud. Hey, Harry! Good to see you! Is my mic loud enough or too loud? I can never tell. I can't tell if I'm talking too loud. You guys just need to say, you know, Gwen, you need to turn it down a notch. You're... The sword of the mod to Harry Potter. Got baby beats to gold and hit level 60. Now on to the stretch goals. Baby beasts! Excellent, congratulations. I just moved one of the 1920s to gold like this morning. So I'm hoping to get all 3 of them to gold now. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not, but it's something we can look for. Decent mix with the music. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. You have a stretch goals? I get it. I get it. I also do the Kickstarter stretch goals an awful lot. Uh, Good luck to you too, my dear. Have you accomplished all of your goals, Cindy? Is there anything that we can help you with? Because you're always helping us. And though I love receiving your help and your gifts and your awesomeness, it's only right and fair that you have to receive some as well. You've met 99%. Well, that means that there's some that you haven't met. Holiday today, so you can play. Congratulations. Yes, it was supposed to be a holiday for Wolfie today. It was not. No. No, you begged to be in here. You're good. Stop. Merles. Can you guys hear him? Getting Dada books. Okay, that makes sense. You guys can hear him? Oh, I'm sorry. He does that every morning at 6 a.m. He runs through the house at high speeds, goes into a corner, and sings the song of his people to the wall. And I have no idea why. And it every morning. And now he's also started doing it in the evening. And okay, I'm going to give in just this once because I cannot have you doing this all through stream. But if you're standing outside the door screaming like the whole time, we're gonna have problems, boy. That's all I'm saying. Just, oh my lords. My life is run by the cat. I like to pretend I am the boss, but I know who is the boss. And he just left the room. So. Alright. I'm going to flip my screen. Yeah, alright. Well, yes, Elvis has left, well, not the building. He's not allowed outside, but he's at least left the bedroom. Bedroom slash office slash everything else in this house, I swear. We are going to do our best. Alright, so, per tradition, it's a game of you guys find me, because if you expect me to find you, then we're going to be here for the entirety of the stream. Wow, someone's already in a ruins chamber. That's kind of cool. I'm going to toss this out. You can do it. Grind, there are so many emergencies out right now. I was out, Wolfie got called into work today, and even though he was supposed to have the BBE is clutch today. Even though he was supposed to have the morning off, and he was only supposed to work this evening, he got a call last night at midnight, and yeah. $15K per chamber? Holy macaroons. Yeah. Alright. That is amazing. 60 feels more plausible every moment I read things like that. Wolfie had to do open to close today. So, I had to take him food because he didn't have enough room in his lunchbox to have enough food. And also because yesterday when he was working his shift, he didn't even get an opportunity to stop and eat all day. And I know that's bad for his health. Way too many people in his family have diabetes for him to not have food in the middle of the day, because like over 12 hours of fasting in a day is very bad for the body. Anyway, so I took him Subway and Subway straws are horrible, so I brought my own. And I forced him to take a break. Oh, don't want to fall in. Ha! I succeeded in not falling in, even though I was being chatty. I don't know. I can open gifts, I suppose. Realize I forgot to hit the button. My bad. Yeah, he has emergency snacks at his desk at work. And like not super sugary things, more like nut packs and things like that, dried fruit. But since he hasn't been diagnosed with diabetes, he doesn't take it as seriously as he possibly should. And the main reason he probably hasn't been diagnosed is because he never goes to the doctor. So yeah. Just letting it out. The joys of a wife who's trying to keep her husband alive as long as humanly possible. Oh, itchy nose. Hold on. Plus, I had a coconut run-in on Saturday, so we're just having all kinds of fun here. Hey! You found me! Da-da-da-da-da! Right away, too. Good job. Alright, so I'm gonna stay in 3, but I gotta hop out because we don't want to fall in. You want to hop into 2 or something like that to also beacon? We shall be a bright light into the darkness together, you and I. Yeah, I have a serious problem about being a nag because my mother is a horrible nag. And, well, she can be. And so I try very hard to not be a nag because that's the environment I was raised in. I don't want to encourage that or continue that behavior. So I will remind you 3 times and then I'm done. And when I'm reminding you the second time, I will say this is the second reminder for XYZ. And when I remind you the 3rd time, I will say, this is my 3rd and final reminder. Would you like me to add an alarm to your phone or something to help you remember? Do you want a text or something? Yes! Found us. Awesome! And, oh, goddess. Oh, Cindy. I am so sorry. Yeah. It is really hard to find that whole I'm not your mom. I'm not your babysitter. I'm not your I cook on my assigned nights, but it's not my responsibility to put away your stuff or clean up your trash. My first husband was much worse that way. With the fact that I had to play mom. Wolfie is at least a mostly functional adult. But it was complications to diabetes that took his mother from us in January last year. And yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. It's very difficult to talk about. Wow, 30 elites in one session? That's impressive. Yes. Oh, honey! No, you didn't make me cry. Okay, there's this thing I should probably let you guys know because you'll be in streams with me often enough, you'll find out. I missed my calling. I was born in the wrong century. If I was born in ancient times, I would have been a professional mourner. You know, like throwing ashes in the air, pulling on their hair, the whole 9 yards. Cause I cry at the drop of a hat. Like, I can be listening to music without lyrics in it, instrumental music like this, and I'll just start crying for no frickin' reason. We're all adults here, right? I can say the F word. I'm just checking to make sure that I can say the F word because I'm probably going to say the F word at some point. Yeah, I cry watching TV commercials. I cry, just in my car by myself because the sunrise is pretty. It's just... And then I have to explain why my eyes are puffy when I get into work because I'm like, well, I was driving and the sun was hitting the mountains and like the fog and it was just too beautiful and I couldn't take it. Yeah, and it's just... I'm not on Facebook anymore. So I will have to... Well, I have my Rowan reports, but I don't have, like... Are you following my Rowan reports? I might be able to find you that way. Anyway, I'm waiting for this person to leave the chamber, so there we go. And I hop. Hop, hop. Hoppy buddy. Oh! Sappy story for school picture day? Dude. You and me, right there, right? It's after 8 p.m. on the East Coast, so I'm allowed to cuss. Alright, that's good to know. That's good to know. I'm just trying to read the things real quick. Going back to work tomorrow, I won't have as much time to play. Oh, I hope that you'll be able to play with us at least a little bit. I will try to find your thing on Facebook. Oh, excellent. DM me the link. Yes, I would really appreciate that. Thank you. I was saying something. Goodbye, Thought. I see that you, were also as a teacher. Yeah, I hated school picture day as the teacher because I did not enjoy having my picture taken as a kid. I did not enjoy having my picture taken as an adult, and yet here I am on streams. I tried so hard to figure out how to do my YouTube videos in the beginning without having to have my face on camera, and I just couldn't figure it out. Ooh, I do love profound essays. There's so many good ones out there. Ones by teachers, ones by... I'm gonna hop into two. Boop. You made a spreadsheet to keep track of your stretch goals. Okay, that's awesome. I only have one right now. My one goal is to get to 60. Once I accomplish that goal, then I'm going to reassess where I'm at and move forward from there. I'm out of lemonade, so switching to water. Alright, so we have three people on the bus, myself, 2 others. By the way, if you like the music, say so and I will like it. And our next stream is the stream that has the music that has been liked by the people. Voted on by y'all and me. What did you want to chat about tonight? We can chat about anything. You like this one right now? Next winter? It is very soothing. I will hit the like button. I said like the track. Thank you. I hear that the East Coast got hammered with snow. I'm sorry for you guys. I'm very grateful that I live on the West Coast and that I don't have to deal with that right now. It is pretty. I do not enjoy driving in it. I do not enjoy shoveling it. I did have to teach the kids across the street how to make a proper snowball, though. Oh, son of a biscuit! I fell in. God. So embarrassing. Alright, where's my sticker sheet? Oh, I have it in here somewhere. Here it is. Which sticker should I put on my head? The one that says this one? Or the one that says that one? Or the smiley fox? I have smiley fox, this one, or that one. I don't have beans. So, that's not going to happen. Letter L. Because this is my sticker sheet. So I've got a smiley fox, and I've got one that says this one with a little arrow, and one that says that one with a little arrow. Hi, Cindy. Currently this one. Okay. They're all cute. But I'm gonna go with the one that says this one. Lean in for it. This one, right here. Yeah, I decided to just go for it. If I fall in again, we'll go with that one, and I'll have the arrows pointing at each other. Because why not? And then that way, next time, once I use up my this one and that one, it'll all just be cute little animals that we get to choose from. 100 looks so far? I don't know what that means. Oh, you've looked in for the bus 100 times so far. Oy, je vais. I can't believe you count them, dude. That's just... That would drive me nuts. Excuse me. Oh! 9 seconds. Too close. That was way too close. I know he always counts them. Yeah, I would start when I got to about 60, maybe 60 or so. I would start doubting that I was on the right number. Okay, it's encouragement for you. Great. I have enough problems with focus. If you haven't noticed, I might have a couple focus problems. So I have enough problems with the focus to be able to do the thing. Yeah. And I would be counting, and I'd like lose what number, or I wouldn't remember if that was on the right number or not, and then I'd have to start over. and then I'd get frustrated because I had to start over, and then like 30 later I'd need to start over again because I was already frustrated about it, and then it would just like spiral into this thing. Yeah. I do things by timers. I give myself a timer to accomplish something. I don't count how many times it takes me to do it, because I know that will just frustrate me more. Yes! There is a reason that I do not knit, or crochet, or cross stitch. I do not do those crafts for a very important reason. I did try to crochet a pot holder once. My square pot holder ended up kind of looking a bit like a rabbit, because it was kind of oblongy and the side was like fatter than and then there was this, nope, no, that's not my skill. I have other skills. I'm really great with embroidery. My embroidery is pretty good. Beadwork, I can make anything out of glass and metal. But yeah, having to count, which is hilarious because I also teach math. But I don't know if we have a balanced team who are still looking or not. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Callie? Math is numbers. Actually, I tell my students all the time, math is problem solving. And not necessarily problem like 2 + 2 = 4, that kind of problem, but also how do I break this down into the ways that I need to figure it out. What do I know? What am I trying to figure out? How can I get there? We focus on story problems so often, and that's it. Like, okay, you know how much he has, you know how much he needs. How do you figure out how to get from this to there? Oh, 7 seconds. Oh, that was way too close to me getting another sticker. You can switch if needed? Okay. You had to play Magi earlier? Alright. I only have this one profession. So... And I don't have another system, so I can't switch. So you're stuck with me. I tried to learn Auror, but I wasn't willing to spend the green tomes because I knew I needed them for professorship, and I figured that I was going to need a bunch of them once they set out the second packet of professorship that you can learn, which they never did. It's your first love. Wolfie's is also Najizu, but I'm sorry if me shouting out numbers earlier messed up your count. I apologize. Yeah. I thought about switching to Auror. I learned a lot of it, but I wouldn't learn any of the ones that required the green tomes because I was trying to hoard those. And by the time I got back around to, well, I could learn more of it. There was other things. There was SOS trainings and all that stuff. So, yeah. Not very good as an Auror, but if I can do it if everyone has patience. I still have my notes from the last time. You were fine, hun. Don't worry about it. You made it! Woohoo! Oh, son of a biscuit! Make sure my arrows are facing each other. Oh, no, that's not. I'm trying to use. There we go. Take out the spider real quick. Pretend that didn't happen, people. I was just so excited you got on the bus, I wasn't paying enough attention. Come on. Come on, Gwen. You've been awake for hours already. Let's go. There we go. Victory! Careful not to back out all the way. Hi, everyone. It's good, Spooky. How are you doing on this lovely day? I've fallen in the chamber twice so far. Are the arrows pointing to each other? Did I do it right? This way and that one. My lag's at 3 seconds. Okay, that's good to know. Look at all these ores in here with me. Are we to a point, excuse my itchy nose, where it's y'all are comfortable heading up towards the harder stuff? And is there? Don't forget your BBEs. Yes. You want to alternate between F3 and Dark 5. Your husband shoveled twice. Congratulations. When I went and bought snow shovels, I bought 2 so that we wouldn't have to be just one person shoveling. Don't forget your BBEs. Yeah, I'm good with flipping back and forth between an F3 and a Dark 5. Do we want to start moving that way soon? How many people are still looking? I shovel nightly shovels, wolfly shovels. It just really depends on who's home when it's snowing or when it stops. I think I saw Callie in my chamber, so I think they're already in. Oh, I don't like this one. I do not like this song at all. Let's just skip that. Yeah, that was no. Okay. You gotta go wait in F3 for a bit? Let's see. F1, 2, 3. I have here a Care Magical Creatures Runestone. Well, I think we're perfectly good for headed up, where I've got one person who's still looking, and Cindy's always... if we can alternate, that would be great, but I think we might eventually be able to do... alternating would probably be best. Yeah, I can speak in English. Yeah, so at least one other person I think was still looking for the night bus. Oh, yeah. In theory, we can do a Forest 3 without a Magi. It'll be fun. So you're just gonna chill in Forest 3 until we're cool, or what's going on with that there, Harry? Because I'm ready to hop into this chamber. I think we have a rando. Let's see how they play. Because I don't recognize that name. And I rebrewed a bunch of these to make sure that I was able to do this. Boop. There's nothing out here I want. I can halvesies this guy. A restart so soon in the day? That's because you are friends with everyone who still plays, I think. Oh, you son of a dodgy hoe. Make me waste my potions on you. Hello! Welcome, Josh. Okay, you get a shield, and you get a shield, and let's see, we don't have any high-level hexings, so you get a hex, because you don't have anyone dedicated to you here, and I'll take this werewolf. Hop on into the bus with us, monsieur. I haven't been getting anything but standard gifts to give lately. And I'm like, dude, I do not want to be giving people regular runestone gifts right now. You gotta be kidding me. But that's all I got. So... oh, hold on. I need to heal just a tiny bit. Where'd I put my healing potion? It's not like I don't have enough healing potions, so I'll be fine. Oh, while I was in there, I should probably also drink this. If my goal is to get to level 60, I should probably consume the thing that helps you get to level 60. Okay. I'm relying on my hotspot because I do not have Wi-Fi. Ugh! I am so sorry, dude. 20 people on the bus last night. Spectogo Discord. 0 of them. It was weird. An all-girl brigade, or staying with rents until your internet was connected at the new place. And then, yay! Spooky found the bus. Hi, Jen. Technician coming tomorrow morning. That's good to hear. Cause I don't know how I would live without the interwebs. Just saying. Oh, the amount of estrogen you must have been drowning in. A 20 female pack. That's great. Alright, yeah. I get having to have someone there. When we had the bathroom remodel done, I had to take a day off work to do it. So, yeah, somebody's got to be home and here for them to do the thing. Okay. Oh, a little puffy. Wow. That's not bad XP for that chamber. So are you guys good with hopping back and forth between Forest 3 and Dark 5? Or do you want to like do several in one and then several in the other? Were there any requests? Because I'm good with just hopping up to Dark 5 now, if y'all are good with that. Or if you want to wait for a bit. The beacons are lit. Gondor does in fact call for aid. You're gonna go eat dinner? Okay. Are there others looking? If you're looking, let us know. Because though I would love to tackle Dark 5, I don't want to try to tackle it without a Magizoo. We've got a Magizoo. We've got 2 Magizoos. Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. Alright. Quack Woman? Alrighty. I don't know if I'm friends with that person. Hi, welcome. Thank you for the lurk. Just a reminder, we have a goal of getting up to 50 followers, so if you do not yet follow, please hit that follow button. I promise I will not spam you too much. Taking this guy first. So Sandy is still looking. And Cindy is still beaconing. Sorry. Violet Rose. Oh, okay. I know everyone by their in-game tags, so I'm like... Let's see here. One more. Excellent. I'm gonna give myself a shield because reasons. Hey, miss! Good to see ya. So, Josh, you're getting your kitchen remodeled. We're also planning on getting our kitchen remodeled once we're finished paying off the bathroom remodel that we just did. Any tips that you want to share with the group about how to survive a kitchen remodel? Because I get the strange feeling I'm going to need help on the survival part of that. Yeah, 2 stickers. No! I am so sorry if you fell out. I'm sure you'll find us again. You found us once, you can find us again. If that elite is still there without being touched, okay, I'm at least gonna, like, hurt this guy a little bit. So that it'll be easier for whoever wants him. The rents took over? Alright. I get it. The vinyl flooring in the kitchen is below subpar and has torn in 3 different places already. So we need to replace that. And if we're going to replace the flooring, we've been talking about replacing the cabinets since we moved in. So we're going to replace the cabinets. And if we're replacing the cabinets and the flooring, you might as well just remodel the entire kitchen. So that's what we're going to do. I would love to be able to make it someone else's problem field. Unfortunately, it's not. I'm not going to be able to do that. I don't know anyone in the area who has experience in that kind of thing. Relatively small. Okay, that's good. Ours is not. I know it's over 6 feet across because I can lay down, if I wanted to, on the floor, and I can't touch both the cabinets on one side and the other side with my feet and my hands at the same time. So, yes, how many butts is that kitchen worth? Like, my previous kitchen was a 1 butt at max kitchen. It was just... And this place is a comfortable 2 butt, and 3 if you are good at communicating. Like, hey, I'm crossing the room with a knife. Warning. Kind of thing. I'm supposedly getting a phone call right now. I'm getting a pop-up on my computer that I'm getting a phone call. So... I'm really glad the Do Not Disturb is working. It doesn't tell me who's calling, so I'm not going to answer it. Our new house has a 1-butt kitchen, but my husband, who does the cooking, likes that. No one else in the kitchen when he is in there. Okay. Oh, it was my friend Connor. Alright, I'll give him a call back later. This is also, well, technically this is my second home that I've ever owned, but the first one, we weren't in it very long. Our new home was a 1-butt. Possibly a 2-butt kitchen. Alright. They probably do want to speak to me about my car's warranty. Knowing my luck. Alright. Oh, we were going to switch flip-flop. So now we're down to 3. Oh, I'm with, like, tons of people. Why am I using a 3 runestone? I want to use a 5. Meh. When I am cleaning, I am okay if other people are in the kitchen with me, as long as they understand. I think I have a BBE. God, I don't remember. I'm gonna double check. 90% sure I have a BBE running. God damn it. We, like, emptying the dishwasher. Gotta let everyone know, hey, I'm coming across with knives, because the dishwasher is on one side of the kitchen, and the place where the knives go is on the exact opposite side of the kitchen. Anyone to Forest Chamber 3, you have 12 seconds. And if they don't show up, that's fine, we'll just go in. Beep. Yeah, Wolfie is constantly complaining about how he needs more counter space. But we have a lot of things that sit on the counter. Like, a microwave, and a toaster oven. So one of the things we want to do when we remodel the kitchen is to get the microwave that doesn't have to sit on your counter, that mounts to the wall thing. That would be helpful. Also having an actual venting vent over the stove, because currently our stove over vent just like blows it over your head, which is fine unless you're making stuff with like chili, hot chilies, and then you're just blowing effectively pepper spray into your house. Not as helpful as you would think. Melissa and Sandy are on the bus. Yay! You get the shield. Someone took that. I'll go over here. Cursing the sun gods? Which one? You need to be more specific. Like, which pantheon are we talking about here? Right, who wants to take out that elite? Because it's all theirs. There you go. You probably need that. Oh, that's me. Yeah, I probably do need that. The Minister in the Department of Magical Transportation. Yes. Hey, I mean, if you're going to curse sun gods, you've got a wide variety to choose from. You just got to pick, which pantheon are you talking about. And if you're talking about the Egyptian pantheon, you've still got like 10 gods to choose from, so you got to pick which one do you want. Because they've got Ra and Horus. Sekhmet is considered a sun goddess. Set is considered a sun god as well. He's the harsh, angry side of the sun. The killer part of the sun. Oh, yes, to melt away all the snow and ice so that the bus can get to you. That makes complete and utter sense. So you would want Bast if you're going for the Egyptian, because she is considered a sun goddess, and she is the remover of obstacles. And also the goddess of cats. Which is funny when your obstacle is a cat, because then you're asking the goddess of cats to remove the obstacle, which is your cat. I always thought that was funny. That the remover of obstacles is a cat. Because, and not like a panther or a lion or something, but like a house cat. It's all good, no worries. We got it. I'm now at my max for the Department of International Magical Cooperation. Huzzah. 5,118. Up to dark. You give me an opportunity to discuss mythology, and I'm gonna run to it and plaster myself to it for a while. I have a book of mythology sitting right next to me, in fact. I'm Egyptian, because that's my favorite. Ooh, you're rising all the way up to cursing the senior minister. My goodness. We've got 2 Aurors, 1Magizu. We can do this. Alright. The Aurors get the shields. Because they get hurt easy. And yeah, I'll take the werewolf. Asio friends! May you find the bus! Let's truly be honest, it's probably not a conclusion of the discussion, it's probably just a momentary pause. This is why I'm wanting to actually teach on Twitch mythology course. Because I teach one in middle school and in high school. Why can I not teach one on Twitch, right? And then people who are here might actually want to learn it, as opposed to, you know, the students in class who really don't. Oh, yay! Josh found the boss. Alright, everybody is fine. You get hexed, and you get hexed. And that's it for hexings. Let's take this bad boy on. I forgot to heal myself when I was out there. Oops. If you want to res me once I'm down, you can do that. If you prefer to heal me before I fall, you've got a limited window at this point. And I'm down! I know I won't be down for long. Ooh. Thank you, AJ. Five star. Huh. Okay. Well, I'll take this one then. Again, as a reminder, if you really like the music, just let me know and I will make sure it's liked so that it can show up next time. Or if you really don't like a particular song, like it's nails on the chalkboarding you, just let me know and we can get rid of it as well. Let's see, you need cursing, you need cursing. Ugh. Ugh. Stretching, keep them limber. Ugh. So, I've been intending to do reading fanfic as a stream, like a late night stream. Stories to fall asleep to, kind of thing. Oh, no problems, no worries or hurries. Please confuse the wolves. Oh, yes, always good to get a stretch. Welcome. Yay! The baby phoenix, the one I'm looking for. 10,000 XP! Oh my lord. I think I got the vapors. Let me look at that bad boy. 2 friends, brain elixir, runestone. Wow. Still just a lame singular runestone. I'm hopping down to Forest 3 again, because I'm doing the back and forth, the 1 and the 2. Yes. I am doing well, thank you for asking. I made this background in all of 10 minutes on Photoshop because that's the time I had today to make a background for this stream. Wife of the Century! Wow, love the name! Oh! Hi, welcome! And my DM and the lady who gets rid of my beard is hanging out with us today. Hi, welcome. So, since you may not know, this is Wizards Unite. We are on the night bus, hunting down, honestly, at this point, XP. Everyone in the chat, say hi. It's weird that I have someone that I know in real life in here. That doesn't happen very often. Let's see, I need to do a thing. This is the thing I need. And I'm gonna hold off. No, I do need to do that because there's nothing here for me to eat. Eat? I'm not eating these things. What am I talking about? Come on, Gwen. Get your stuff together. Shield for me, shield for you. Yes, all the more reason to follow the channel, because I have a goal of 50 followers. So, if you could help us achieve that goal by hitting the little follow button, it will also make Professor McGonagall show up on the screen and applaud, so. Oh, you did it while we were on doing D&D the other time. Excellent. Oh no, you fell off the bus! That's horrible. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for our loss too, because, you know, we don't have you here for our support. Ah! Sorry, Death Eater just appeared out of nowhere. Oh yeah, anyone who happens to be watching and is not yet a follower, please. There's a little button down here somewhere. I have no idea where, but I'm pointing lots of places. Nothing for me. So yeah, I was saying that I'm planning on doing late night read you to sleep streams, because I like having people. I listen to audiobooks to fall asleep to, and I thought it would be fun to read some fanfic at night. And I keep telling myself I'm going to do that as soon as this temp job that I'm doing is over, because I have to get up at You Gotta Be Kidding Me in the morning to do this job, and I'm not going to be like up late streaming and then getting up at You've Gotta Be Kidding Me. I require a minimum of 8 hours of sleep in order to function, so yeah, there's problems. But alas, they keep extending my job. It was supposed to be a 4-week job, and now it's looking like it's going to end up being a 4-month job. And yeah, nope, not pleased with that. I mean, not that I'm upset that I'm working and being paid, because I like being paid, don't get me wrong. Yeah, they're wanting to extend me again until the end of March, and I'm like, dudes, I love and appreciate that you like what I'm doing and that you like how fast I type. But, I got things I gotta do. I kept putting off getting my booster shot because I didn't want to get it while I was working the job because I knew I was going to have to take days off for it. So I'm like, listen, if you're going to extend me, then I'm taking some days off so I can do this and I can do this. And I got this other stuff coming up. And they're like, yeah, sure, you can take however much time off you need. We just need you for, keep going. And I'm like, okay. I was kind of hoping you were going to say no. Shadow, I would really appreciate that if you would ask your community. I did not know that you also streamed. What do you stream? My lower left, which is that way. Over there. Abraxian Winged Horse. 8k in XP. That is not bad at all. We just finished Forest and now we're going up to Dark again, right? Yeah. I'm 80%. I'm in the 80% today. Yeah. Oh no, Harry, you did not. Sheila's made it. Yay, congrats. But holy crackanoli, Harry. You want to try to hop back on? I mean, it only took you 150 tries the first time. I must have got Harry's seat. Oh no. Stream Raiders? Marbles? Oh, okay. I've seen marbles on stream. Community games. Ugh. It's sad to hear that that this thing is. I mean, I know that they're running on a skeleton crew right now, and I'm concerned about the final day stream when everyone's going to want to be in the same chamber because we all want to be together for the last day, you know? So I've got some concerns. Alright, go feed the pups. So earlier I was the last day's gonna be Monday. I stream on Mondays anyway, not a big deal, but then they changed it to Sunday. So I'm going to be streaming pretty much all day, but I've been talking with Brita out in East Coast and James from Expecto Go, and I'm thinking that it's going to be one of those we pass the baton back and forth. Shanna might show up for a bit. I'm going to be on a all witches stream with Brita earlier in the day, and then oh, this Pixie's hitting hard. But I will be streaming on here for the end. Yikes, I'm gonna exit before you knock me out, boy. There's nothing here for me to attack. That stinks. Okay, shielding you. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I'm gonna be, when James is doing his stream on YouTube, I'm going to be there with that community, and then when their stream is over, I'm going to come back over here and stream until the lights are out here. Zoe, Witches and Stitches, who lives in Alaska, is going to be also streaming, I believe, because she gets an additional hour past what we do. Because it's going to be ending at midnight your local time. So it's going to be a rolling blackout. We're gonna watch it. It's like the worst ball drop ever. Because with the ball drop, it's like, yay, party in every time zone. And here it's going to be people really upset in every time zone. Also, since I live on the West Coast, and if those of you on the East Coast can get, or any other time zone for that matter, need a place to crash on the West Coast so that you can have just 1 hour more or 2 hours more, we have the guest rooms. Just DM me. Everybody's got the thing, so then you get hexed. And you get hexed, and that elite pixie is available for anyone who wants to take that pixie off the map. I will take out this Urkling simply because there's nothing else that I'm going to touch, because there's all Death Eaters, and they hurt when they hit me because I am weak against them. I don't know why I suddenly did an accent, but there you go. Yeah. Elites for days, dude. I am so sorry. I'm trying to read the stream, and I'm also trying to not get killed by this Urkling, and so I'm failing. I will be able to accomplish both things at the same time one day. Probably, maybe some point at the last day. Who knew? Okay. Okay, I'm going back up to feed puppies. Cuteness, aggression. Yeah, it closes January 31st at 12:01 a.m. your local time. But we're going to be partying hard all of Sunday. Everyone's going to be at the party. It's literally the restaurant at the end of the universe. It totally will be. Oh my gosh, I hadn't even thought of that. Oh yeah, if we could get someone in Hawaii, that would be cool. If there are any content creators out in Hawaii, you need a hex, and you need a hex, and you need a hex. Alright. Yeah, we will try to get all of the deets to you. We've been chatting back and forth about this stuff, like, a lot today, actually. Yeah. James might be making a graphic for it. I know that Brita's making a graphic for hers. She's doing a stream, also, she's going to be doing streams all this upcoming week at random times to try to be able to get people from other time zones in. Of course I get a Douglas Adams reference. That's why I'm the Almighty this year, because I'm 42, so I personally am the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Duh. So... I took the 31st off of work to recuperate from the day that I'm going to have before. Yeah, I don't know what friggin' Nerds Media is doing. I know that they've got some stuff brewing as well. That is an impressive XP bonus. 11,000. I'm drooling on that, let me tell you. Okay, we don't have anyone in Dark 4. Do we want to... I'm not Dark 4, Forest 4. Forest 3. I can speak in English. XP for days! Alright, I'm gonna hop into Dark 5. If anyone wants to join me in Dark 5, that would be great. But if you don't, that's fine too. double screen, 4 streams running. Oh my goodness. There's a bunch of people who are planning joint streams. I'm actually seeing if anyone wants to come in and guest on mine. My only problem with that is probably going to... Oh, shoot, we don't have an ore. We can do this without an ore, right? We've got 2 healers. We can do this without an ore, right? Yeah. I would have guessed, but it's difficult to find people who are going to... Like, there's only 2 other people I know of that stream that are in my time zone. So... Alright. Yay! We have an ore! It was great to see you, Josh. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and thank you for hanging out and getting a ridiculous amount of XP with us. I hope everything with the house goes well for you as well, sir. And if you have any pointers after this experience is over, let me know! Let's see. We did that thing already. There's a bunch of... Okay, I'm just gonna... Then we're gonna do the easier werewolf. Cameo guest speaker. I don't know if you guys know, but I do stream also on Thursdays, just not on this channel. I stream on Balsamic Games on Thursdays, and I'm the one with the best internet connection. We're doing a beta of a tabletop RPG called Children of Midnight, and it's witches doing crime in a solar punk future with a lot of Orwellian aspects. So, you know, fun. And that stream, since I have to run that one also, has an overlay. So I got to learn all about how to be able to have multiple cameras up on here at once. So not just me doing the singing and dancing, but other people doing the singing and dancing as well. So I can have guest streamers on here. I just need to figure out who is willing to, like, the people I want the most, Rita and Shanna, because they're my besties. Well, I can't say besties, but I've slept in the same room with them. Not with them, in the same room as them. So therefore, you know, that counts. My brain completely lost track of what I was talking about. Yes, the Itty Bitty Kitty Committee. Yeah, I would like, you know, the other people to come and co-stream, hang out. I have yet to figure out how to get, like, I know that I can do it so that even though the stream is being broadcast on Balsamic Games, it should also show on mine. And I'm trying to figure out how to get that to work. But that's apparently above my pay grade right now. Oh, there's a lot of people I would love to get back. That for their own reasons stopped. There's, you know, if they want to show up here, I've got the space. There's all this room above me and to the side. I can scooch this text over, like the whole... See, I tried doing a host the stream, but it wasn't working for some reason last time. Zoe 2 Dots. I would love for her to come back. She did Wizards Unite stuff at the beginning. I have 2 minutes left on this. Shoot. Alright. I am not good against these guys at all. But there was nothing else to hit, and I didn't want to just keep sitting there on my duff. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, I don't think she did either. Neville's won! And the puppy. Boop. 12,800 XP! Ah! Getting so much XP at once, you can almost see the thing ticking. Are we staying in Dark 5, or are we going to move down to Forest? Because I know people were looking for shards of different things. Yes, we need to get all the non-60 players together. If Putter is back on the bus, then we're hopping down to Forest 3. Oh, I shouldn't have used that stone. I should use a different one, because I have 69 of those left. So, there we go. Definitely Not Haunted is the name of this song. Okay, I like it for the title. I think everyone else is on. Yeah, let's get Cindy into a couple. If you can, milady. Shield for you, and shield for you, sir, once I can get enough. You can have all the elites. Everyone else gets the elites. I'm done with the elites. You played an intense 2 hours earlier today. You're good? Alright, my brain elixir wore off. So, shield for you, so I don't forget. Shield for me. Because Mages used are the last ones I shield because they already are such tanks. You can't do much damage to them. You have to head out. Alright. Awesome. Thank you for chilling. It was good to see you. We'll catch you next Monday, if not sooner. I'm gonna whittle this guy down a little bit for those who need the elites. Just a couple of hits. Okay, maybe just one. I don't want to kill him. Someone else is in that werewolf, so I'll take this werewolf. Alright, I'm kind of liking this song. I'm gonna hit the like button. Oop. I don't know why it's not working, but there we go. And I got hit by the werewolf, didn't I? Alright, all the shields are done. You need a hex. And you need a hex. And I'll take this werewolf. Oh, yeah, we could... If I can figure out how to raid, we can do that. I found where the raid channel button is on my thing. So, and it's Cooper's Charms. Okay, remind me again in about 20 minutes when we're getting close and I can search them in my raid disk. A new ghost hunting game. That'd be cool. Cooper's Charms, all one word? Okay. She. Okay. I said he. I'm sorry if I did. Hopping back up to 5. Ugh. Looking in my Discord for something for just a moment. Don't mind me. Okay. There we go. I pulled up Cooper's Charms so that I could find her later. Oh, she's a former YouTuber. Cool. Do one without you? Alright. Metalmancy by the Death Metal remix. Okay. This doesn't feel very death metal-y, but if that's what you say it is, I won't argue with you. Okay. Away from keyboard for a few, staying on beacon. Hopefully she doesn't fall into the bus and then has to put a sticker on her forehead. I don't know if I ever told you guys this. You know I have a brother. He lives out in Colorado. He was in a death metal band for a while as the drummer. That's a very exhausting job. At least it would tire him out, and I'd never seen anything in the world that could tire him out before that, so. Not even playing football. Ooh, we jumped from one extreme to another there, didn't we? Oh, that's taken care of. So now the hexies. You get a hex, and you get a hex because you're a 5-star. And I will hex you in a moment, sir, as soon as I can. I'm gonna knock this down a scotch so that those who need the elites can have the elite. This might actually be a little too slow. It's very chill, but it's like, dude, I'm not here to take a nap. trying to exit this elite werewolf so that someone else can have it. There we go. Everyone's shielded. Hexing you. Taking this werewolf who is not elite. Yeah, this is too chill for me. I can't anymore. Ah, I got bit. If any of y'all ever played Get Bit, it's a card game with little mini figs and you're getting chased. You're a little, looks like a Lego robot, and you're being chased by a robot shark. Oh no! People getting kicked left, right, and sideways, huh? Hope I don't. Everyone's shielded. 5 stars get hexed. Alright. All we have left is these 3, and I'm not touching the well, that's by an ore, and that's not by an ore. We only have 1 ore. Okay. You'll join the next F3? Okay. You're still on bacon? I can understand why you're addicted to bacon. Like I've said before, if it's a world without chocolate or bacon or bread, I'm not interested in it. Any diet that informs me I'm never allowed to eat bread again isn't going to last very long. Any diet that says I'm never allowed to eat bacon again isn't going to last very long. And any diet that says I can't have sweets like chocolate once in a while, even if it's once in a great while. I mean, it doesn't have to be every week or every day. But if you say I can never have chocolate again, bye-bye! Oh! Who's accidentally on 12,000? Woo, nitty! Who's on bacon? Yeah. So I tried going vegan for a bit, and that didn't work. Vegetarian. I just tried going vegetarian, not even full vegan. Because, you know, ease into it. I did that in college, and I nearly shanked a guy over a chicken sandwich. So, nope. I tried to do the paleo thing, and the Whole30. Both of those are no bread ever again. Nope. And also with paleo, someone said, well, you just have to get all of the sugar out of your diet. All of it. I'm like, so no fruit. And obviously no breads, because most flour just breaks down into sugar in your body, and nope. There were just layers of nope going on with that whole thing. I try to eat in moderation, and I drink a lot of water, which, hydrate. This is your hydration reminder. Yeah. I have yo-yoed a lot. Oh no. No. What was that? That was weird. I was fighting the dude, and then I was not fighting the dude. But it didn't kick me. It didn't kick me, right? No. Don't do it. Yeah. Eat a vegetable every day is my current goal. Just eat a vegetable and a fruit. Make sure that I drink a lot of water. Triforce closing. Okay, so all the way out. Here, I'm gonna flip to intermission so you don't have to see my home screen and all that junk. I had a doctor suggest paleo to me, and that lasted all of 2 weeks. I did... Okay, it's back. So we're going back in here. I did, what was the name of that diet plan? South Beach. And I actually did well on South Beach. And then my husband announced that he had cheated on me with a good friend of mine and his business partner, and that he wanted a divorce. And lo and behold, all that weight came right back on, plus friends. And then I tried to go back on South Beach once I was in, once the divorce was finalized and I was in a good relationship with another person who I'm now married to, and all that other stuff. And yeah, it didn't work at all. Like, not even a little bit. Yeah, he had wanted out of the relationship, and I kept insisting that I wanted to try to save the relationship. And so he did something that he knew would make it so that I would stop fighting for the relationship. Oh, Wolfie is like the best trade up I could ever possibly have gotten. Have I told you the story about Wolfie and I, like how we met and all that stuff? Because it's hilarious how it's just like this ships in the night thing. Alright, so I was 16, so this was last century, and he was 17, and we had both auditioned for a theater troupe, and we both got in, and we were in 2 plays together through that theater troupe. The troupe was called The Post. Yeah, my life's mate's nickname is Wolfie, and yeah, there's just too many Wolfies in there. There are 2. You only have to count for 2. That is not bad XP for a chamber. No. I am not leaving the fortress area. I do not want to return to continue to the Wizarding Challenge. Nope. Oh. Okay. That's fine. We'll just do this again. Alright, we'll hear the story. Story time with Rowan. Alright. So, we were young miniature versions of our current selves. And he did, for his audition monologue, something from Camelot. And he did it in an accent. Oh. And so I stalked him for a couple of days. And okay, so I stalked him by I wasn't even 5 foot tall yet at that point, 100 pounds soaking wet, if that. And I was standing behind a pole in the room, like staring at him. And he's like, he told me later, he's like, who is that girl who keeps staring at me? That's just weird. So he came close to the pole, and I jumped out from behind it, going, hi! And I introduced myself, and long story, hopefully slightly shorter, we started dating, and we dated for quite a while. We were in 2 plays together. I got my first on-stage kiss with him. Life was good. And then my parents decided that we needed to break up because he was Catholic and I was being raised Lutheran, and obviously we can't still be together. So we broke up and secretly dated on the side, and then we got caught, and so we broke up for realsies this time. And then life happened. You know, we drifted out of each other's lives, but we kept bumping back into each other. Like, I would go to a play that my good friend was in, and he was also in that play. Or I would be working at Burger King because I was in high school, and he would come in and order stuff. We kept running into each other. I moved to another city. I kept running into him there. Life happened. 10 years happens. My 10-year high school reunion, I run into my friend Sarah, who I hadn't seen since high school, and he was in something with her. He was doing, he had a blues band that he was performing in, and we end up running into each other through that. And I was in the middle of a messy divorce, and he had about a year ago gone through some really hard times and was at his parents again and had broken up with his fiancée, and we got well and truly drunk and professed that we still had feelings for each other. And so we decided, let's give it a try. We're gonna try dating again. And 2 years later, we were married, and that was in 2009. So we've been married, I forget how many years. Like 13, yeah, 13 years. 10 years was 2019. That's when we went to Ireland. I got my first tattoo. Was our 10-year anniversary. So if 2019, 20, 21, so it's been 12 years. It will be 13 this upcoming September. Yeah. And I always joke that I traded up because when I had my parents made us break up the first time, right? Because we weren't the same religions or anything, and but when he came around the second time, considering some of the winners I'd had before him, he was like the second coming of Christ. They were perfectly fine with me having this relationship now. So my dad still gives him heck, but that's, every dad's job, isn't it? My dad also says if he ever sees my ex-husband walking through a crosswalk, he'll just miss the brake on accident. So I'm like, no, you wouldn't, Dad, and you would never see him anyway. You don't even live in the same city or the same state, but whatever. I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you. I actually did get an apology from my mother, which I never thought would ever happen in my entire life, getting an apology from her. But she had some medical issues, and we weren't sure how long she had back in 2011, 2012. And she wanted to apologize for the things that she put me through growing up. And she probably doesn't even remember that she did it now, because that was when her stroke brain was still kind of squishy. But yeah, I actually got an apology from her. You like this song? Alright. Hitting the like button. I'm hitting like track. You can like the track. Thank you. There were a lot of things. I'm a big believer of Louise Hay. If you haven't read any of her work, You Can Heal Your Life is just an amazing book. Highly recommend. 5 out of 5 stars. But she talks about how you have to remember that everyone is a little broken. Yes! No, not that button to back out. This button at the bottom. I want to leave the challenge, but not the whole entire friggin' thing. Okay. We're hanging out in Forest 3 right now. Tower 1, where are we going? Dark 5? Alright. Are you guys already in F3? I'm glad that I've completely validated your existence as Bacon. Or Beacon, whatever. Majesty to Dark 5, please. Can we get a Majesty to Dark 5? Thank you. Anyway, Louise Hay says that you have to remember that everyone is always doing the best they can with what they've got. And their best may not even be minimum for what you consider, but it's the best they have with what they have. So, no matter all of the messed up, junked up things that I've had to get psychological help through over the years that I lived through, it was still, how can other people help you to have self-esteem if they never learned how to have self-esteem themselves? How can other people teach you or show you that there's goodness in the world if they can't see it themselves? It's the same concept. Strong invigoration drought. Let's get some shields on some people. Oh no! Majesty, we have a res that needs to occur. These guys are fighting back a little harder than we're used to. Oh, the author's name is Louise Hay. Louise, excuse me. She was a child. As a child, she was horribly physically and emotionally and sexually abused. And then in her 40s, decided to turn her life around. In her 60s, she published, she started her own publishing company. She has just been an amazing beacon for me of, you can totally change your life. The book is entitled "You Can Heal Your Life," but she owns a publishing company that publishes all kinds of great material. Dr. Christine Northrup publishes through her. Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom was like one of the first books that I bought for myself when I moved to college. It's where I learned lots of things about my biology that I didn't know before. Like how it actually works. All the stuff that they don't teach you in public school. The tapping solution. If you've not ever tried EFT, by the way, it's amazing for anyone with anxiety or PTSD. The tapping solution, it can potentially be a literal lifesaver. It's the only thing that works with my panic attacks because I can't take medication for them anymore. Jesus Christi, there's a lot of things out here. I'm just gonna down this healing potion. If you needed to love me, that's why I consider my teenager to be some kind of miracle. Just trying to read and fight at the same time. She is relatively well adjusted for having two depressed parents. I guess she fits right into the Gen Z vibe. I mean, so my mother, I don't know how much I can say about her life, but her upbringing was complicated. Her mother was a teenager during the Depression. And I've heard many fascinating stories from Grandma, including one that she made Grandpa promise to never make her eat pigeon again before they were married. So, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will. Partialing, no, never mind. There's nothing out here I want. I'll take you. But yeah, Nick Ortner does the tapping solution, which is night and day. So important for me. It's using acupressure on certain meridian points on your face and chest to short circuit the fight or flight response. And it does a very good job. Your grandmother used to cut people out of photos. My grandmother was very good at many things. And towards, by the time I was a kid, she had gotten better at expressing love. But she was not apparently always the best at that. So. Sorry, I'm trying to read. Yeah. I didn't mean for this to become an advertisement for Louise Hay or the tapping solution, but I have a day calendar from her publishing company that sits right here next to me. And the item for today, the prosperity of this world is my birthright, and I share in the abundance. How is that not awesome? The one from yesterday is I welcome new technologies. My mind is capable of easily learning new things and grasping new concepts. So if anyone is willing to explain to me what the frick Bitcoin is. have enough to place Ron Weasley's wand. Booyah, booyah. 12,000 XP. Right, or NFTs. Why would you buy a digital house for the same money you could use to buy a real one? It makes no sense to me. I mean, I've heard of NFTs. I don't have any idea. I've tried watching YouTube videos to try to understand it. I can barely grasp the concept of stocks. So these companies, their value goes up and down just because people think it should. Yeah. I honestly don't understand that stuff. It's not that it's bad or not my thing. It's just... Ask me the gestation period of a carrot. Plant the seed, reap it in 40 days. That I know. You know, how to epoxy a counter. I can do that. The Bitcoin, NFTs, that it's just right past me. And I'm kind of okay with it. I can get to the point where I'm like, you know what? Other people can know that. And maybe if someday I want to invest in things like that, then I can go to people who are experts in those things and let them do it. Let them be a trusted person to do it for me. I don't need to do... Being a financial advisor is not my forte. So that's their thing. And some people really enjoy that. Great. Oh, Harry, did you want to hop into Forest 3 with us or no? Or who was the one that... It was Harry, right? Oh, we can do Dark 5 since we're not with you. Okay. I just now understood what you were saying. Because I'm a genius. Don't you know? Cindy! Hopping into some Dark 5 and... There are lots of people already chilling in other places. Got ourselves some ores, some professors, a Magazoo. We've got this down. Oh my goodness, I just saw what time it is. Alright, this is probably going to be my last one for the night. Because... I already had that active. Okay. I gotta cook dinner at some point. We were going to raid, right? What was the name of the channel we were going to raid? My brain keeps saying Clear Channel, and I'm like, no, that's a radio station. Cooper's Charms, thank you! Oy vey. Alright. It will be my first raid of others. Let's see how it goes. I found the button yesterday when I was searching around trying to figure out how to archive my old videos before they go away. There's actually a quick action buttons or something. Oh, that was weird. I wasn't expecting the sound of a jacket and a zipper that's in this song, and my brain went, where are you hearing that from? Sorry, please don't mind my mind. It's a little in the gutter. You, because you're facing a 5-star. You got 1,000 elites! Woo woo! I is proud of you, yo. So proud. And you got at least 2 of those here. I have no idea how many you got here tonight. But yay! Glad we could be of service, and I'm so glad you were able to accomplish that goal of yours. Elites. Ugh, there's another elite. Alright, so who else needs the elites? You got 17 tonight? Dude, that's excellent. Alright, good. We still got someone who's catching all these elites for us. Sheila's still working on them. So hexing you and hexing you. And let's partial you down a scotch. If you only need like 3 more, do you think you might be able to get it done tonight? Sorry about the ministry crest, man. I know it's been a pain. Oh, wait, I'm not finishing this guy off. I'm just partialing him. Well, shoot. All that is out here is elites. Does anyone need in here with me need these elites? Sheila needs them. Alright. I can't hex anything. I think you can just like hop in and that spider will be dead. Victory! 10K. I know that there are going to be other people streaming tomorrow. Let me just head over to intermission real quick. And this song's a little loud. Oh yeah, I didn't know who 2 of them were. So that makes sense why they were not in the thing. Okay. James streams tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, Brita is streaming tomorrow. James is Wednesday. And Brita is also streaming Thursday and Friday. And I might be on her Friday stream if I can get off work in time. If I can't, then I won't be. So I'm not going to officially announce that because, like, I can't guarantee. You know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, West Coast time. It's Shanna's on Sunday. Saturday, nobody? Okay. Lynette is Wizards Unite tomorrow. Okay. Alright. But she doesn't do Night Bust. It's just a general stream. Okay. So, let's see if we can get this raid thing figured out. Thank you all so much for being here. I really, really do appreciate not just standing into the void trying to find the Night Bus by myself. Because I'm not so good at finding the Night Bus by myself. Let's see if I can hit the raid channel. Pick a channel that's live to raid. And then it was... Dang it. Can someone write down the name of it in my stream again? Because it's way too far up. And if I scroll it, I don't know if I'll be able to get to it. Cooper Charms, thank you. Copy, paste. I would find the bus immediately because I just did the button. Boom, boom, I'm there. But finding other people on the bus, that's the hard part. Just say hi. Say whatever you want to say. Raid, whatever. Be nice, but I expect nothing from but kindness from you guys. I know that you are all wonderful people, so I'm not worried in any way that you're going to be rude or inappropriate. Um, but let's see how this works. All right. Love you all. Thank you so much. 3, 2, 1. Hitting the button. Ready to raid. Okay, it says 10 viewers ready to raid. Excellent. So how do I hit raid now? There we go.